Hello, hello, hello! Hi Sandra and everyone else, thanks for joining me. Let me know if you're there or stay for a few minutes after the practice to share your insights and tell me how you are. How are you doing on this beautiful sunny day? Apparently they'll last for a little bit, but I think that we got quite a few of those really scorching days, so it will be nice to have a couple perhaps cooler days. Coming back to the practice, it's not a weather forecast. You probably need a strap for this practice. If you haven't got it, a scarf would be nice, or an old t-shirt. You know, we'll see where the practice takes us. Okay, so today I would like you to focus on the concept of ahimsa. So ahimsa is usually translated as non-violence, because it's the antonym of himsa, which in Sanskrit means violence. But actually the opposite to violence could be love, compassion, mercy. And that's something we tend to forget when we practice. And you know, I'm guilty of that too. So when you push yourself too much and too far, and you're never content with where you are. So today, as we go through the practice, we will try a couple of binds. So if your shoulders aren't ready for it, or your body just doesn't feel like doing it, try to embrace your body exactly as it is and find a piece of contentment being exactly where you are. So also cultivating the principle of santosha. So finding and choosing to be content being exactly where you are, because yoga really is a never-ending journey, and some things you might be able to do in 2 years, 5 years, maybe 10 years of practice, but all that matters is that you keep practicing, you keep showing up on the mat, and you keep practicing the attitude of acceptance and non-judgment. because quite often we are very keen to judge ourselves, at least, and be critical. So I wholeheartedly encourage you to let go of this attitude and meet yourself with kindness instead. Okay, so find a comfortable position where you can settle, seated or lying down. Check your energy levels. If you're seated, make sure that your weight is spread evenly across your sitting bones. Draw your belly in and up so you can lift up from the hips. Roll the shoulders down and relax your face. And feel the connection with the ground wherever you are. And go through the 3 checkpoints of awareness. So your physical body, scanning for any tension or tightness, any discomfort, any sensations. And the next checkpoint is the breath. What's the quality of your breath? What's the rhythm like of inhalations and exhalations, without trying to change anything, just for now. Follow its journey in and out. And now a third checkpoint is our mind. So what's the quality of your thoughts? What's the pattern of your thoughts? If you're going over what happened today, perhaps a shopping list that you've prepared, and try to let go of it all. So for now we use this time to ground and center ourselves, preparing for the practice. So we're choosing to cultivate mindful approach, so to what's happening in our bodies, in our minds. Simply being observant and aware of everything that's going on inside of us as well as on the outside. And then start deepening your breath. Send it all the way to your belly button. Feel the side of your ribs expand all the way up to collarbones. And then slowly exhale, using the diaphragm to push out the remaining air. So deep inhalation for a count of at least 4. And slow grounding exhalation. So 4 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. In. And out. One more inhale. Be greedy with it, sip in as much air as you can. And softly exhale. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. If you're seated, check your posture. Keep the belly gently engaged. Shoulders are down, but elongate through the crown of your head. Just spend a couple of moments here setting an intention for the practice. So to cultivate ahimsa, the non-violence, the compassionate and loving and kind approach to ourselves and the practice. So letting go of any criticism or judgment, and instead embracing what we have and embracing the practice, being thankful for showing up and welcoming all the opportunities or challenges that the practice has ahead for us. And then take a really deep breath in and sigh out through the mouth, letting go of any judgment, any prejudice or expectations towards your practice. And then slowly you can open your eyes and transition onto your back. Keeping the soles of the feet together and dropping the knees out to the sides for Supta Baddha Konasana. If you want to clasp the opposite elbow and bring the arms over the head and let them rest on the mat. So become aware of your hips, your shoulders. Feel the weight of the body pulling on the tissues. Keeping the breath deep and long, allowing the body to simply relax. So settle in this shape and connect to your body on a deeper level. So feeling all the sensations, the more obvious ones as well as all the subtle ones. Swap the clasp from the elbows, and as you breathe, feel the full expansion of your chest. Notice where else you can let go, be it physically or emotionally, and then stay here for one more round of breath. Now bring the knees together and draw them towards your chest. Give them a nice little hug. So feel your hip flexors, draw the navel closer to the spine. And if you want to, you can rock from side to side, now gently massaging the lower back. And having a play with the position of your knees, so whether they're closer, a bit further away from your chest. Just warming up, connecting to the body, moving mindfully, but also in a bit of a playful way. Because yoga is meant to be fun too. Even if we talk about all the serious stuff like ahimsa and being kind. Come back to the center and draw 3 circles with your knees outwards, keeping the inner edges of the feet together, feeling the hips and change direction, feeling your psoas, and feeling your thigh bones. And then bring the soles of the feet up and either hug the back of your thighs or weaving your arms through in between the legs, grab hold of the outer edges of the feet. So have a little play, notice your pelvis, and draw your tailbone closer to the mat, so you want the entire back to be glued, and try not to hold too strongly with your arms, so they're still quite loose. So bring the ankles over the knees or wherever it feels good. So if you have tight hips, then it probably doesn't feel that great. So talk to your hips. Say hello. See what they have to say. And be good to them. And if you want, you can rock from side to side, Gently stretching one leg at a time, or stay still if stillness is what you need. Keep breathing deeply and fully. And then come back to the center. Bring the knees to your chest one more time. So draw the belly in and up. Press the lower back into the mat. Hold on to your shin bones and lift the shoulder blades off the mat. So squeeze your belly. Bring the forehead to your knees. So you turn yourself into a tiny ball. Keep squeezing all the muscles that you have. Feeling the heat rising up. So hold it, hold it, hold it, and gently release. Okay, so now I need to shuffle to the side a little bit. Bringing the feet together, drop your legs to one side. So let's go to the right. Go the same way, it will be easier. And then you open your left arm to the left, and you want to bring the right arm over. So then bring it back and then gently go the other way. So it's probably not going to be that much movement, but just feel your body, how you're coming into this twist and trying to reach your hand towards the left. And now let's go all the way onto the right side. So maybe I'll shuffle so we can see better. So on the right side, left hand on top of the right, or more or less, and you open out to the left, keeping your legs down. So go only as far as you can keep the legs down and bring the arm back. Open and come back. Open and come back. So let's try the other side. So feet together, drop them to the left. Extend your right arm out. And then in a very awkward way, try to bring the left hand to join the right. So we're putting ourselves in this really weird shape, just feeling how the body can or can't move. Squeeze the belly and then open up. So twice more. Reach your left arm over, come back, and then one more time, and back. So now we go over onto the left side. Bring the right arm on top of left, and then open out. Bring it back, open up. Bring it back, open up. And bring it back and come back. So hugging the knees in. We're gonna rock forward and up a few times. So massaging the muscles in the back, but also trying to catch our balance. Squeeze your lower belly in as you come up. So one more time. And as you come up, find your Navasana. So either legs extended, if you've got that flexibility and you already feel that you can do it, or legs bent. So wherever you are, keep the shoulders rolled back. And imagine that you can slot the thigh bones deeper into the hip socket. Squeeze your legs together, spine long, try not to arch your back too much. And then calm down, so the sacrum is on the mat. Your legs or shoulder blades are lifted. Inhale, come up. Exhale, down. Your belly squeezed in. Inhale. Exhale. So 3 more times. In and out. You can do it. In and out. In and out. And hold it here. For 5, 4, it's burning, let it burn, 2, 1, and release. How good does that feel? So spend a moment here. Observe all the emotions that arise and try not to attach yourself to whether they're good or bad. Simply become aware. And then roll yourself up and grab your strap. So you know what's coming. It's the shoulder flossing. And just to make it a tiny bit more fun, we're gonna add the plantar fascia in the foot release. So come to your toes, make sure that the pinkies are down as well. And grab hold of your strap. Start as wide as you want to. And the key is, just as a reminder, to keep the arms the same level for the whole movement. So you don't want to be here and just try to move it over, but the hands are level. Okay. So keep your belly squeezed in and breathe as you bring the arms over. Notice how your shoulders are responding. So start wider, and then if you feel like you've released something, then you can make it a bit tighter. But be kind to yourself. Keep your breath deep and long. Easy does it. And this time, as you bring the arms over, find a spot where you feel quite a lot of sensations, but something you can work with. And holding onto the strap, keeping your belly engaged, stay there for a couple of breaths. So deep inhalation and super slow, relaxing exhalation. You've got it. One more inhale and exhale. Now find another spot and stay here. So you can always widen the strap a little bit, because it's different if you stay with those sensations, if you want to lean into them, rather than if it's a fluid movement, there and back. So the exhalation is on your side. So the longer you keep it, the more you communicate to your brain that, hey brain, I'm fine, you can relax, there's no need to tense. And then find another spot. If you need to readjust the strap, then go for it. And relax as much as you can. Feel everything that's happening in your body, in your mind. And release the strap. Come onto your hands and release the feet. Wow, I really felt my feet there. Normally I can stay there a bit longer. It's okay. Every day is different, and so is your yoga practice. Don't need the strap just for now. Come into a cross-legged position. Inhale your arms up and over. You can hook the thumbs, slide your shoulder blades down, draw your lower belly in, hug your ribs in, and look towards your thumbs. So keep elongating, lifting up from the hips, breathing into your chest. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, twist to the right using the strength of your core, and then you can bring the hands down. So hook the left hand over the knee. Keep the spine long, keep squeezing your belly as you twist. So close your eyes and stay here for a moment. Feel your body from the inside. Squeeze your belly. Imagine what's happening to your organs. How your abdominal corset is tightening. And then gently come back to the center, keeping your eyes closed. Pause here for a moment and feel the difference in each side. And as you inhale, bring the arms up and over the head, hook the thumbs the other way, and lift up from the hips. So squeeze your belly, shoulder blades are down, belly squeezed in. As you exhale, squeeze your belly even more, twist to the left, and keeping that engagement through the core, bring the arms down. So make sure that your head is stacked over your shoulders, shoulders over the sternum and the hips. Close your eyes and twist as far as the body is welcoming. So actually feel and communicate with the body. Instead of thinking where you want to go, ask the body where it wants to go. So squeeze your belly. And then as you inhale, release, come back to the center with your eyes closed. And just for a moment, feel if you've managed to balance out the sides of your body. Okay, so coming back onto our knees. This time feet are pointing. Roll the shoulders back and down. Just a couple of times each way. If you have hypermobility, you don't want to go over outside of the comfort zone of the joint. But if you're not hypermobile, then this is what you need to do. Interlace the fingers behind you, roll the shoulders back and down, draw the belly in, and begin to fold over the knees. So you can rest your head on the block if it doesn't quite reach the mat, but you are reaching the hands forward, so as though you want to bring them to the mat on the other side. It's not about actually doing it, but the direction of the movement. So feel your shoulders, see where else you can release. Keep the belly squeezed in. And then gently release, come back up, give your shoulders a little shake, and let's do it again. This time interlace the fingers the awkward way. One more time, roll the shoulders back and down, squeeze your belly in and fold over the knees, the thighs. So feel the gentle pressure applied to your belly, and notice if there's any difference in your shoulders. Now you've interlaced the fingers the odd way round. And you know, it's okay if it doesn't feel any different. It's also an observation. As you inhale, come back up, give your arms a little shake. You know, the thing is, we won't always have these like drastic differences or feel major things, but it's actually about refining our inner hearing to the finer sensations that we can't perhaps notice to begin with. Come onto your hands and knees and connect to the mat, to the ground. So feel the grounding energy as you press down through your hands, your fingertips, your knees, the tops of your feet. And I'm gonna protract and retract the shoulders. So as you retract, you shift your shoulders a little bit forward and drop the chest down, slightly squeeze your shoulder blades. And as you protract, you come back so the shoulders are stacked over the wrists. So retract and protract. Come forward and down, retract, back, protract, retract, protract, retract, protract, retract, protract, retract, protract. 3 more times. Retract, protract, retract, protract, and then retract, protract, and stay here. Push the mat away, gentle roundness through the upper back. Squeeze your belly and then hold it. Push the mat away as hard as you can. And then exhale, release. So quite often we might experience wrist issues in the practice if we haven't warmed the shoulders up, enough. And you need to really engage the shoulder girdle so that you take away the pressure from the wrist. So retracting and protracting is my favorite thing to do every day now, because it's a really good way to strengthen the shoulders but also mobilize the joint. Okay, coming back onto hands and knees, press down through the left hand, and as you inhale, bring the right arm up. So try to keep the hips square but open up through the chest. So keep reaching the hand up and back as much as you can. And then as you exhale, scoop the air and thread the arm through, but let it hover. Inhale, come back up, reaching the hand towards the sky. Exhale, thread it and hover. One more time. Inhale, up. And exhale, thread it through as far through as you can before you drop the shoulder down and your temple. So here, slide your hips to the right, and you can use the left hand to deepen the twist. Squeeze your belly in, feel the empty space in your pelvis. However, if you want to, you can extend the left arm or even rotate it and bring it to your right thigh, so you gently hook it. So stay here, feeling everything that's happening. So in the bottom shoulder, in the upper shoulder, in your belly and your pelvis. Come back to the center. Use the left hand to press yourself back up and find your tabletop. Switching side. So inhale, your left arm goes up, keeping the hips square, but reaching up through the left arm, opening through the chest and the shoulder. And then as you exhale, thread it through and hover, dropping the left shoulder. Inhale, back up. Exhale, scoop the air. And one more time. Inhale. And then as you exhale, thread it as far through as you can. Slide your hips to the left and have a little play. Where do you want your right hand to be? It doesn't have to be the same spot there it was on the other side. If you want to bind, bring the arm to the sky and rotate it so you can grab hold of the left hip. Stay with your breath. And belly is engaged. And then coming back to the center, use the right hand to push yourself back up and move from side to side or cat-cow. Just for a few breaths, feeling your shoulders in particular, connecting to your hips. So just move your pelvis forward and back. Close your eyes and roll your head from side to side. Is your body warm enough now? Does it need a bit of extra preparation? Okay, so tuck your toes, keeping the fingers spread wide, push back into down dog. See if you need to pedal your feet to find your dog. If you don't, press down through the base of the thumb and the index fingers. Rotate your triceps in to spread the shoulder blades. Draw your belly button in and lift the hips up. So long back. Breathe the potential into the spaces between the vertebrae. And then as you inhale, lift the right leg up for three-legged dog. Keep rooting down through the left heel, reaching the right leg up, your belly is drawn in. Bring the knee towards your chest and lightly step the foot through between the hands. So drop the left knee down, foot is flat, and as you inhale, easy come up. So talk to your hips, feel what's happening. Draw your lower belly in to lift up from the chest. And just stay here for a couple of breaths, connecting to your body. Being kind and merciful, not pushing ourselves too far. Then bring the left hand down and inhale, bring the right arm up and over. So you can drop the hips down to rotate the chest out. So keep bringing the right arm back as far as the body is welcoming it. Then come back to the center and bring the right hand by the inner right foot. Push the knee into the arm, squeeze your belly for balance. So keep drawing your energy and strength into the center line of the body. And then inhale your left arm up. So that should feel a lot different. See how far you can go. And then bring yourself back. So now we've got the right foot outside of the right hand. You can walk it out a little bit to open up through the hip joint and stay in lizard. So either on the hands, on the block if you need to, keeping the belly drawn in. If the body is welcoming, you can come down onto your forearms. Keep pulling, energetically drawing the right knee to the center line. Pressing down through the inner edge of the right foot. Then as you inhale, come back up, tuck your back toes and step back into down dog. Inhale, roll over into plank, bring the feet together, squeeze the thighs together, protract the shoulders, squeeze your lower belly in. That should feel quite nice after hip openers to just stay in plank. So if there's any other time where plank is welcome, it's probably right now. Then with your knees up or down, shift your weight forward and come down all the way to the mat. Bring the forearms down, shoulders slightly forward of your shoulders, elbows slightly forward of your shoulders. I don't know why I just said. And lift your chest up. No strain, no struggle. Allow the chest to open. What can you feel in the shoulders, in your collarbones, in the back of your chest? And come down, arms by the sides of your body. Inhale into cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, easy downward facing dog. Root down through the right leg. Inhale, left leg up. Three-legged dog. Pause here for a moment, engage your belly. Rotate your triceps in. And then bring the knee up towards the chest, into plank. Hold it just for a moment and lightly step the foot through. Drop the right knee and come up. So you can walk the left foot slightly off the center line if you need help with balance. Then it's quite okay. Sink your hips down, squeeze your right glute to support the opening through the front of the hip. Find your breath and use it to anchor you in your body, in the present moment. Bring the right hand down, and as you inhale, lift the left arm up so you can relax through the left leg. Drop the hips down to twist further, keeping the belly drawn in, pushing down through the right arm so we're not sinking in the shoulder, but actually we're supporting the alignment. Then come back to the center, left hand by the inner left foot. Push the arm into the knee, neaten the arm, and bring the right arm up. Sink your hips down. It's a strong pose, strong twist. And right hand goes down, walk the left foot out, and have a little play in your lizard. I mean, I have a really strange relationship with lizard because sometimes I love it and sometimes I just really don't understand it. So I wonder if anyone else feels like this. So stay on your hands or calm down, but try to keep squeezing the left knee into the center line, into the shoulder. Find your breath. Stay with the sensations. Try to surrender instead of running away from them. And then inhale, come up, tuck your back toes and step back into down dog. Walk your dog if you need to. As you inhale, roll over into plank, feet together. Just stay here. Or if you want to, so protract the shoulders and roll over your toes. So use your belly for this, not just your shoulders. And then come back to plank. So twice more or stay, or just do one. So that's your practice of ahimsa. Then being kind to your body, to yourself. And one more time. Come back to normal plank. Knees up or down. Exhale all the way down. Coming back to Sphinx. So open through the chest. Lift up. Relax your buttocks. If there's any pinching, then you can bring the forearms a bit further forward. However, if you're good, you can come up onto your hands for a seal. So try to keep your glutes relaxed. Calm down all the way. Tuck your back toes and push back into downward facing dog. Now inhale your right leg up, three-legged dog. Stay. Inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the right knee to your chest in plank and then twist to bring the right knee over the left shoulder. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Come back to the center and step the foot between the hands. So drop your left knee down and you might need your strap for this. So what we're trying to do here, so come as low your hips as you can, so you can bring the shoulder as close to underneath your knee as you can to thread it through. So don't know if you can see it. Can you see it? So then from here you can grab hold of that hand. If this, however, isn't accessible, that's why we've got props. Let me see. Which way would it be best? Okay. So you drop the strap behind you and hold it with one hand and the other. So you're coming into a bind. Keep your belly squeezed in. Use the cavity in your pelvis. Then gently release. Frame the foot, lift the back toes, and step back into down dog. Inhale, roll over into plank. Exhale, chaturanga of your choice. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. and settle. Find your breath. And inhale your left leg up, three-legged dog. So stay here. Check your alignment, see where you can engage. And then bring the knee towards your chest and twist to bring the knee to the right elbow or shoulder if you can. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Back to the center, step the foot through. So drop the right knee down and have a little play. Do you need to walk the foot out a little bit? So we're dropping the left shoulder down. So you can thread the arm underneath. So we're here, and then finding stability, keeping the belly engaged, and thread the right arm through to grab hold of the fingers, or use your strap, wherever you are. Find and choose to be content. And then gently release. Frame the foot, step back into down dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. And then exhale into child's pose. Keep the knees together if you can. Arms extended. On beside you. Find your breath. Forgive yourself. It doesn't matter if you did it or you didn't do it. It's a practice of exploration. Then come back into tabletop, tuck your toes and push back into down dog. Now walk your feet towards your hands and come into a forward fold. So check how your hamstrings are. Do you need to bend your legs? Can you keep them straight? Your belly is drawn in. So using the empty space in the pelvis to fold. Relax the shoulders. And now you might need a block for this, or just bend your knees a little bit. So bring the right hand down in front of your feet. Keep the belly squeezed in and bring the left hand on top of your left hip. So see how far you can twist. If this feels all right, you may want to extend the left arm. And then come back to the center. Switching the hands, squeeze your belly and begin to twist. So from your belly, feel it in your chest and the shoulder, right hand on the hip, on the back of the hip, and then perhaps you extend it. And calm down. Bend your legs and come into ragdoll, shift from side to side. So sashay your hips, moving constantly, but slowly. Then place your hands down, step back into down dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale into down dog. Now step the right foot through between the hands and bring the left heel down. So you might need to shorten the stance. So we're coming into a twisted triangle, which really should be called twisted pyramid, because if you remember, if you know, and this is the pyramid. So it's an intense stretch in the hamstring. So keep the belly engaged, keep the right thigh engaged, so lifting the kneecap. And then you can either stay here or bring the left hand by your right foot and twist to bring the right arm up and over, or keep it on the back of the right hip, or if you want to, really lift from the hips and twist into the pelvic cavity. Bring the left hand on the outside of the right foot, push it down, slide the right hip back, push the left hip forward, and extend your right arm up. So keep an equanimous mind, keep the belly engaged, look up towards the right hand, and then bring the right hand down, frame the foot, lift the back heel, and step back into down dog. Notice what you can feel physically, emotionally, what thoughts are going through your head. And then step the left foot between the hands and bring the back foot slightly in, 45 degrees out. Check how your hips are. So slide the left hip back, bring the right hip forward, and stay here for a moment, checking if the twisted triangle is appropriate today, because that's also a practice of ahimsa, that we don't just do things, but we approach them in a curious way, you know, kind of just taking tiny steps instead of just diving in deep. So then if you're happy, bring the right hand down to inner or outer part of the foot, lift up, squeeze from the belly, push the hand down and bring the left hand the back of the hip or extend it. So you need to keep pushing down through the left big toe and the outer edge of the right foot, and try to stack the shoulders. You know, proprioception comes in handy. And if you want, you can look up towards the left hand. Feel everything that's happening in your body. Feel the body from the inside. And bring the left hand down. Frame the foot, bend the front leg, and step back into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, back to down dog. And then walk the feet towards your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale to extended mountain pose. Exhale, hands at heart. So take a long step back and, oh wow, I don't know if you heard that click, that was my hip saying hello. So we're in a long stance facing the long edge of your mat. So the wider you go, the safer you will feel when you fold, and essentially the more flexible you are, the narrower you want the stance to be. So pressing down through the outer edges of the feet, engage your quads, and then if you want to, you can grab your strap and hold it behind you. The alternative is to interlace the fingers behind. So draw the lower belly in, roll the shoulders down, and then as you exhale, folding out the hips, you begin to fold over the legs or in the space between them. So stay here. Feel the weight of your arms, all the tissues in your shoulders, tugging and pulling. Keep drawing the crown of your head to the mat. Then gently lift yourself back up using the strength of your core and come to the top of your mat. Release your arms. Inhale to extend it. Exhale to fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale into down dog. And inhale your right leg up. And then bend your leg open up through the hip, pushing down evenly through the hands. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, step the foot through between the hands. So this time, so grab your strap or not, we're gonna try the same bind, but with the left knee lifted. So again, check if it's appropriate to do today, whether you should do it. So dropping down your hips, bring the right shoulder as underneath your right knee as you can, to wrap it around so you can feel it in the hip, and then you can stay here if your balance allows you. Keep your belly drawn in. See if you can clasp your hands. Then gently release, move super slowly. Shoulders are a bit funny. Step back into down dog. Then we've got one more side to do. You can do it. Whatever it is, you can. So inhale your left leg up. And then open up through that hip. Reaching the left knee up. Inhale, re-extend. And then exhale, step the foot through between the hands. So keep your strap handy. And then if you can, so have a little play. What do you need to do to bring the left shoulder underneath? So you might come here and be perfectly content. Then it's perfectly fine. If you want to try, then wrap your hand around and stay. Keep the belly drawn in for balance. And if you want to try, lift your right hand, join the left. Back leg is active. And you release the bind. Frame the foot and step back into child's pose. Knees together or apart, wherever you want to go. Then inhale, come up and transition onto your back. And bring the knees up towards your chest. So feel your shoulders, feel your shoulder blades pressing into the mat. And then we've got a few options here. And actually we'll start in bridge. So feet hip distance apart, fairly close to your bum. Arms beside you. And then pressing down through the feet as you inhale, lift your hips up. You can choose to stay here or interlace the fingers. Walk the arms, shoulders in to deepen the frontal body stretch. And then gently release and bring your hips down. Pause here for a moment. So then you can either do this or there's another option, and you need to look for this rather than look from your bridge, because you don't want to turn your head from side to side when you're in any posture where there's pressure on the cervical spine. So we start in bridge. So it needs to be quite a high bridge. So definitely walk the shoulders in. And then if you want, you can come up onto the balls of your feet. So you can
slide your hands underneath your hips. So then keep the knees squeezed in, and if you want, you can bring one leg up and down at a time, and then perhaps you can bring both. And then gently land one foot at a time. Release your hips down and rest in constructive rest pose. So either bridge, or if you want to, from high bridge, come onto the balls of your feet to really lift up. So then you can slide one hand and then the other. So you need to have the elbows quite in to support the weight of your body. Keep the belly drawn in and lift one leg, the other leg, or not at all. This is actually quite nice to be here. Lift the chin up to the ceiling. And then when you're ready, I like to allow my hands just to slide on the flesh around my hips, and then I gently bring myself back down. If you're still in bridge, stay there for another round of breath, and then bring yourself all the way down to the mat for Shavasana. So take a really deep breath in. Feel your entire body lifting off the mat. And as you exhale, sigh out, letting go of your practice, releasing the things you did, you didn't do, releasing any emotions that surfaced up, and allowing the body to integrate what you've practiced, allowing your mind to assimilate your practice. Take a really deep breath in and bring some energy to your body. When you're ready, roll over onto one side and come up into a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed, feeling the connection to the earth, cultivating an uplifting quality with each and every breath that you take.
So revisit your intention and forgive yourself for all the things that you could and couldn't do, for any negative self-talk. And bring the hands at your heart and bow your head. So now thanking yourself and your body for the practice, for making the time, for putting the effort. So you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And let's close this practice with one round of Om. And then softly open your eyes. Thank you very much for your practice with me today. Namaste. So how are you feeling now? How are your shoulders in particular? Because we don't often do binds, and I know how challenging they can be. They always are for me, but I hope neck clicked and felt good. Fantastic. Good stuff. Oh, hi Kirsty. Don't know if you're still there, but thanks for popping in. Yeah, no, my shoulders are always tight, and the thing about shoulders, why I said that they're funny, is that on the contrary to our hips, the shoulder joint is inherently unstable. So that's why we need to be really careful. But also, you know, the lifestyle and stuff like that, slouching, that doesn't help. So the shoulder flossing is what we should be doing every day. And yeah, so I can really feel the bind. Yeah, let me know how you feel. And don't forget that now on Sundays I offer a Zoom class, so it's a slightly more interactive one because I can see what you're doing and offer you some tips, and found that quite nice. So last Sunday, so I encourage you all to book on. It's on my Facebook page or bookwen.com/yoga-with-mags. So it's still the same time, 11 till 12. If you're interested, I would love to see you there, because I believe that there are some things that you really need to focus when you cue alignment, and I'm always really mindful that I can't see you when we offer the live streams, to keep you safe, but it's nice to be able to actually chat instead of you typing just to me. So if you would like to, I would love to have you there. Also, the next meditation space session has been announced, and it will be on the 27th of June or the 25th. I never remember, and every single time I say this, but it's the last Saturday of June. It's hour and a half of a few meditation techniques that we will practice, yoga nidra and mindful movement meditation to shake off the excess energy. So if you would like more information, let me know. I hope that you're all feeling wonderful, and I will see you again on Thursday. So have a lovely evening. Mwah. you.